Peace, 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 black power. Peace, 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 black power. This is Underground Warrior TV. Your first time coming into my channel. Mash up the like, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so you always be in the crosshairs when I drop one of these videos. Fam, every time I speak on separation from the matrix, from white America, a lot of people may view me as being a racist person with narrow views of the white race, like I'm clunking everybody all up into one wagon and judging them. It's not that. It's just the results of black people living amongst white people. Is why I say there's a must that we separate from the matrix and build our own government. And the only way we can do that is to unify as a people. Because when we deal with them in any type of situation, it's always at our detriment. What I mean by that, okay, fam, we got a situation out of Ohio where a woman was punched in the face by a cop because of an incident that happened in the McDonald's. I'm going to read from a Yahoo article on what went down. And I'm also going to share you the disturbing video to prove my thesis, my premises, why we should separate from these people. If you can't get along with them, separate. That is the ultimate resolution. It's to separate from the people who mistreat you, who have a disdain for you. Okay. Police released body cam footage of moments leading up to an officer punching a woman outside a McDonald's restaurant in Dayton, Ohio. Butler Township Police Department released this footage, filmed on January 16, showing two officers confronting Laticka Hancock in the McDonald's parking lot before one officer punched her 3 times to the face. She refused to take my dollar to give me 50 cents after I paid for an extra cheese. Hancock tells the officer about a disagreement with a McDonald's employee, which prompted the worker to call the police. She got an attitude because I asked her for a refund and called the police because she didn't want to give me back my money, Hancock says. This is the sister telling the cop her side of the story. The police, identified by the department as Sergeant Todd Stanley and Officer Tim Zeller, asked for her name to issue a trespass notice. Hancock initially refused to provide any identification information. It's deep, man. How the stuff get out of hand. The police say if you don't stop, you're going to end up going to jail. Zeller warns her. Hancock heard in the video yelling the spelling of her name and then saying, "Write it down so I can go." She adds, "I'm not giving you nothing. I already said it." The situation quickly escalates. See, when you talk to the officer, law enforcement, in some type of manner, they get a little man complex. They feel that you didn't overthrew their so-called authority. So they got to react. That's when you black, you have a small margin for error. You can't say nothing. It triggers them because they already hate you. Just like I said before, the racists have been infiltrated all spectacles of areas such as government, police department. These people are over your life. You got racists in the medical field. You got racists that run the facilities, uh, prison institutions, jails, and prisons. These are the people who supposed to be your overseer as far as being part of a program of rehabilitation. But what they do inside those places, I've been there. They kill and mistreat and beat people, inmates. Say in the medical field, when you are going to the hospital for a procedure, you don't know if you're going to get a racist who's going to operate on you, because these people have infiltrated and interwoven themselves inside the fabric of racist America. So you had the police department that's unhinged from being dominated by racist views and racist people. If you go back and study what I did, I went back and studied about this particular county, racism exists there, lynching of blacks. I went back and did my research. So, when you speak in a certain tone to a police, you take it as you being rebellious, get back in your place, slave. Hancock was hit 3 times, sustained injuries, and spent a night in hospital. Her attorney, Michael Wright, a Wright Schultz law firm, previously told story full. Butler Township Police said on Tuesday, January 17th, that the investigation had missed lunch into the conduct of both officers. Fam, look at this video and tell me what you think. Leave comments below. Subscribe to that channel, Underground Warrior TV. Let's get into this video. Hey fam, before I show y'all this particular video that I'm showing you right here on the screen, before I proceed with this video, let me say that I am using this particular video as fair use for educational purpose only, as the disclaimer, because I don't want no strikes against the page or against my channel. And let me always say that when I say that we need to separate from these particular people, I'm not saying it to be a racist or I'm hateful. I'm just looking at the results of the outcome of dealing with the Neanderthal. There's got to be reasoning when you're a human being, when you deal with people. If you don't have a reasoning and you see nothing as no understanding, there's no understanding. You only have one understanding, that you're racist, you hateful, and you hate black people, and you're allowed to hate who you want to hate. But when you start to demonstrate that hate on the people, then something has to be done to curtail that particular behavior. So how am I wrong saying that we should separate from the madness of a fucking crazy ass Neanderthal? All they do is kill us on all levels of the game. It's straight murder. You're not being murdered economically, you're being murdered socially as a people. If you're not being murdered physically, you're being murdered psychologically as a people. What do you think this do to the average black person's psyche when he finds out, or she finds out, that her life is worth nothing in this white supremacist world? That is a psychological effect It's like backing someone up into a corner. And if you keep pushing black people into a corner, it's going to be a major catastrophe. That's why we need to separate before this catastrophe happens. It seems like that America is pushing for the race war so they have a reason to eliminate and assassinate black people. Wake the fuck up, y'all. We need to lock up, come together as one united front. If we don't hook up, man, this stuff go constantly happen. We need to get our own government where we can police our own. You are an African trapped in America, whether you want to believe it or not. This is how they treat the Africans. You're the same people. I don't know why we don't want to be African, but we're the same people. This is how they treat the Africans in Africa. This is how they've been treating the Africans. Everybody that's dark like us, with this hair, these lips, and these noses, are the most oppressed people around the planet. And you claiming to be Indian is not going to get the white man off of you, because when he look at you, he see an African. He don't see no Indian, Native American. All he see is the African. Hey, the Asians, which is the Indians, the original Indians are really the Asians who came to America some 16,000 years ago. When they got here, niggas was already here in the motherfucking Mexico. We was the Olmec heads. We was the Olmec heads, them Olmec big 16 colossal heads. I'm gonna keep pushing this shit because that's, when motherfuckers say, that slavery didn't exist and they Indians now, and the Olmec civilization that was found in Mexico was proven to be African people. They said it wasn't. We talking about 1150 BC. All that shit is diversity to divide black people from being one people. You want to be Indian, you want to be Muslim, you want to be Jew, you want to be Crip, you want to be Muslim. Let's be African first. So these type of situations going to continue to happen. Let me roll this video.
I almost lost my life behind it.
The woman in this disturbing video, Laticka Hancock, emotional as she relives Monday's encounter with Butler Township Police.
Why I said, I'm going to be quiet now. I'm going to stand up. I'm not going to be George Floyd. They're not going to get me on the ground.
Police body cam video is showing us what led up to the moment a Butler Township police officer punched Hancock 3 times in a McDonald's parking lot.
She refused to take my dollar to give me 30 cents after I paid it for extra cheese. So then she got an attitude because I asked her for a refund and called the police because she didn't want to give me back my money.
Officers Todd Stanley and Tim Zeller listened to her side of the story, then asked her for her first and last name to issue a trespass notice.
If you don't stop, you're going to end up going to jail.
Hancock, H-A-N-C-O-C-K, write it down.
Calm down.
I'm not giving you nothing, I already said it.
Okay, you're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
Put
No,
your
I'm
hands
not.
behind your back.
No, I'm
You
not.
are under arrest, prepared to identify.
It quickly escalated. Officers grab her and Zeller pulls out his taser. Hancock tries to reason, but it's too late. Officer Stanley strikes her 3 times in the face and head.
You punched me on your own will.
No, it's this.
I didn't punch you.
Stand up.
I didn't resist. No, I didn't. I'm a female. Look at my mouth.
Stop.
Do you think your officers used excessive force here?
I'm not going to comment on that until the entire investigation is complete.
Tuesday, the police department launched an investigation into the conduct of both officers, but only Officer Stanley is on paid administrative leave. Hancock and her legal team say it's not enough.
And we're asking him to be terminated and to be convicted and to be charged. Yes, both officers, and to be charged. That's what we're asking. And we want an independent investigator. This must stop. These officers and their brutality and their, condescending approach.
Attorney Michael Wright says officers injured his client due to the use of force. and he says Butler Township and McDonald's played a role in what happened to her. Ms. Hancock, what does justice look like for you?
They taught us all through growing up.
You want to hold these officers accountable.
Be accountable. Every action has a consequence.